So the Promised Neverland season 2 is already halfway over, and as a manga reader, I've been super disappointed. And I just want to talk a little bit about why I'm really disappointed with the second season of the anime. I am going to be talking about spoilers from the anime and some of the manga, so if you don't want to hear that, just to give you a little spoiler warning before I talk about it. So the number one thing I noticed is the first like 3 or 4 episodes were completely fine, but where they really screwed up is when they decided to entirely skip arguably the best or second best arc in the entire manga, that being Goldie Pond. And it was a really cool arc that I absolutely loved, where these sort of like royal demons, like they captured humans and they started hunting them for like sport and game, whereas other demons, most of them believe that they should only be used to like just as food, while these other like sort of royal demons went rogue and against the whole promise and started just hunting humans for fun instead of for just like survival. And as part of skipping that arc, they also skipped what I thought was the second best character, or even probably the best character in the entire show, being Yugo. Now, Yugo, he was an escapee from another high production farm, and the Graceful kids actually met him in the shelter that they first arrived to. And he was like already on the edge of going crazy because the kids he escaped with, they either died or were captured as part of the demons hunting them. And it was really cool to see him evolve and change from this mentally crazy man to a person who was sort of a father figure for the kids and helped them out a lot. Another thing I want to rant about is how dumb the enemy soldiers the Graceful kids fight are in the anime. These are supposed to be like top of the line military graded soldiers, and in the anime, whenever the Graceful kids escape from the shelter, they're just so easily able to like outsmart them, but it's just not done well at all. In the manga, Yugo, and after the whole Goldie Pond arc, he meets like one of the friends he escaped with, and they sort of come back to the shelter with them. And at the shelter, they have like guns, grenades, and they use these to help the Graceful kids escape. And it's really reminding me of a fight from season 1 of the anime, where a lot of it's like outsmarting the opponents, and they use that to beat the other military people hunting down the kids. That was really cool to see, whereas in the anime, it's just degraded into a really, really badly done escape. Like that made me so mad as well, like almost as much as just entirely skipping that Goldie Pond arc. It just went against everything season 1 was doing right, where it was these really smart like tactical battle of minds, and this one it made no sense. Another thing that the anime handled so poorly was the return of Norman. It was only like a span of like a total of 7 episodes where they were separated, where as in the manga it had been, I would say, like 70 chapters ish before they finally get reunited. And the way they reunited them it's just so poorly done in the anime. Norman just so happened to be at the town where the kids were in this huge world. It made me really angry. And where in the manga, it's really foreshadowed of Norman's return. So in the Goldie Pond arc, there was this kid named Adam, and you could tell there's something was really wrong with him, as he was like this super buff and big kid who could like not speak at all. The only thing he was reciting was Norman's like number tag, and it was because he was also from the Lambda lab. And it was really cool seeing also that foreshadowing the whole Lambda lab, like, oh, there's this something going on, there's some type of experimentation going on with like kids. Whereas in the anime, the first time at all it's mentioned of Lambda is when Norman meets up with them and shows Emma and Ray his crew that he helped escape from Lambda, and he just basically just gives like a 10-minute exposition dump of the Lambda lab. And also in the manga, you could see how like strong the Lambda people really were, because before like you even meet them, there was just like a few like pages of them like actually infiltrating one of the mass production farms and sort of like freeing them and just showing them kill all the demons. That was really cool seeing that. And also in the manga, Norman actually seemed like a badass who you could tell had definitely changed as a character. In the manga, he was like meeting up with like this exiled and former royal demon clan, and they were planning to sort of actually attack the capital and overthrow the queen and the other royal families. And it was really cool like seeing him team up and like stand face to face with this really strong demon and like hundreds of other like really strong demons, and negotiating with them and not being afraid of him. Where in the anime, he's just kind of saying, "Oh, yep, here's my plan. Oh, yep, these Lambda guys, they really respect me." You don't really get to actually see like how much he's really changed as a character, and like how much stronger and more determined he's become of protecting the Gracefield kids. The anime is so bad, and I just want to sort of give a rant about how bad the second season of the anime has been. The manga, like the second half of the manga definitely wasn't as good as probably like the first 90 chapters. Like everything after the kids actually escaping from the shelter with the help of Yugo and the Goldie Pond arc, everything after that was, I would say, slightly above average. It wasn't like by all means a masterpiece like the first season or the Goldie Pond arc, but it was still a good read. Whereas in the anime, it's not even really worth watching the second season. You're better off just reading the manga. And I'm a person who doesn't really read the manga. This, like, The Promised Neverland was like one of the very few I've read after watching anime. I just wait off for the anime's future seasons, but this one I just had to read it right away. But yep, that's about it. Just wanted to rant about Promised Neverland season 2. See ya.